So real quick here, Canada's men's under 20 soccer team are one win away from qualifying for the Chile under 20 FIFA World Cup. It's happening next year. They have a date with Panama, which I feel like all the controversies at this point are all just, coming together. So of course we'd be playing Panama. Will they score and then pretend to fly a drone? I am most definitely sure about it. But I just want to take a few minutes to step in. We haven't been able to do the match recap as much, just life gets in the way sometimes. But I want to step in and just give a few updates of things that I was looking at. We had done a 5 players to watch live. I did it with JD over the IMAX and WeMax, the football channels. And I mentioned a couple players I was looking at. I was looking at Santiago Lopez. I was looking at Jesse Costa. And I was looking for big terms from each of them. And right now it does show as if Santi's had the tournament, right? Santi on the pitch has looked like the most creative, most impactful, and I mentioned earlier, he seems like a type of player who can play with that swag, that compartment that maybe if the team doesn't have it that day, he can maybe coax it out of them and move. He hasn't been the heartbeat of the team, but he's certainly been a player who I've seen on the pitch who certainly is moving. He's not the organ, he's not a vital organ, but he has been the most creative piece and he's been the most lively one, creating everything. He's been the best player for Canada through these 3 games, and I've loved what I've seen from him in that sense. If you're wondering, just a quick recap, Canada's first game was a little bit disappointing. A 2-2 draw to Honduras. They were up 2-0 at half and then conceded in the 94th minute, the 94th minute of time, thus giving away the draw, which really would have helped them move on, but they weren't able to get that match result done. They then played the Dominican Republic. Tavio Ciccarelli was able to get a goal in the 86th minute after the Dominican Republic, a feisty and a tough side to kind of break through. Canada had a lot of opportunities, but weren't able to, at the end, get the goal and move on. And then against El Salvador, Santi Lopez in the 21st minute, Castillo in the 77th for El Salvador, Mateo Bunbury with a Puskas goal, bicycle, just no one saw that coming, way to be. They conceded it in the 94th, but then video saved Canada after it doomed us in another tournament. Yeah, I said what I said. I have no regrets of that statement. Having them finish in second in the group with Honduras, tied up on points, but goal difference going to Honduras. Canada was able to beat the same teams Honduras beat, but Honduras did with more space in between. 5-2 Honduras beat Dom Rep, and 4-1 they beat El Salvador, which means they are now set up for a match against Panama. Winner goes to the World Cup. And also, the winner can play for a third place. Which, I don't think there's a third place game, which is a little bit disappointing. So if you make it to semifinals, we're going to there, and that looks great. Things I liked about the team, Swiderski in goal has looked good. The Dom Rep game felt like he was the best player. I don't know why it is my teams. I'm always talking about the goalies being amazing. It means we're having a lot of saves. I've liked the team overall. You can certainly see who the coach is really favoring, and that's not a problem per se, but it certainly does start to create conversation points in terms of is our team deep enough to kind of move through. Andrew Olivieri, right? My major concern, I think, with it is, I know we just mentioned Santiago Lopez. He has started and played significant minutes in all 3 games. And I wonder if they have enough pace to go through. I wonder if he goes back to, against Panama, if he goes and tries to play a Biello and Costa in the midfield. He's only done it a few times where they need goals. I think against a team like Panama, it might be best to try to go through and push through. Mateo Bunbury coming in, I've liked what I've seen from him. Miles Morgan has played well. Umar Diallo, I'm not necessarily disappointed. I wanted to see more. He hasn't had many opportunities, but when he's been there, he's been active per se, but not necessarily impactful from my eyes at least. So from that standpoint, it is James Cameron coming off the bench in all his appearances looked good. You have the Perlmans, Greco Taylor, Schlick Brown, all looking good, decent and well. The midfield will be interesting, I think. Panama has looked good. Panama, arguably should have beaten Mexico, which would have meant we would have played Mexico, and we all love that extra adversity for free. I've liked what I've seen from some players. If I had to call up a player right now, it would probably be Santi. I don't think Santi necessarily is ready for national team. I would love to see him get a few more first team minutes under his belt, or I would need him to really show through and really show his ability to come through. Kimani Stewart-Baines has been active as well, so good player to keep an eye on. But overall, they are one away. Panama will be a side that will push them. This will be a high-scoring affair, I think. If Canada's going to win this, they need to, and they've done this twice already, they can't shut off when they get the goal. Against Honduras, they shut off at the end and just non-marking ball watched 2-2. They did it again against El Salvador, but then VAR saved them. This is a game where they have to stay focused for 90 minutes. If they do that, they have a good chance to move on. If not, we might be looking at another tournament thinking what could have been. But we'll see. You guys let me know if you've been following Canada's tournament, who have you liked, and yeah, we'll go from there.